Transportation to Grand Bahama. Please welcome Captain Randy Butler.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
First thing I have to get out of the way, folks in Andros, where I just came from, said that I must tell you I'll send some people there, right? So let them experience the real culture of the Bahamas. And I tell you, if you come from Andros and you come to a fancy place like this, you struggle with things like the, you struggle with the bathroom. You know, we came in there this morning a little while ago, and anybody stayed there last night?
Where?
At Pelican?
Oh.
Y'all stayed there?
Yeah.
No problem with the shower, cool or hot?
Yes, sir.
I didn't get confused in it. You know, in Andros, one of the prized things we have is a clean outside toilet. Some of y'all don't know what outside toilet is, right? Y'all don't know what outside toilet is, right? I have a girl, she's famous for the cleanest. Where's Henry? Inspector Road, you know what I'm talking about, right? That's my cousin. You know I thank you.
If he was rich, right, we had 3 holes.
By the way, Doc, I always wonder about that because you have 3 holes, 2 big ones, a little smaller. I always think of you sitting in this and like, how are you doing today? But my aunt used to like, I call it kabbalah, keep the sand down, you know. So when I moved to Nassau, I couldn't wait for her to come to see my all white toilet, you know. And so when she said, I said, and I showed her all the wares, and I said, don't worry, just go right there, do everything. She looked at me, I said, yes. Did everything, she came out, she didn't say anything. But I heard the other day bragging about this boy is now an airline pilot and golly get a new inside toilet. And I said, that thing's so good. I said, when you sit and do all your business and flush that, she said, water come up to wash your hands. Protocol having been established already. One of the things I would say, Dr. Miles, I believe Dr. Miles Monroe is one of the great treasures that God has given us. I'm the support team of Mrs. Monroe, also another good treasure. And Pastor Victor, I think we'll do well in Ministry of Tourism that any brochures or anything go out will have Dr. Miles Monroe picture. Because in all languages they ask you, do you know Dr. Miles Monroe? I do. He's my friend. Tourism is here to stay. But let's reap the greater good from what tourism have to offer us here in the Bahamas and Grand Bahama. The UNWTO states that tourism is to become one of the fastest growing economic sectors in the world. I think this summit is on point and timely. There are many benefits that can be gained from developing the religious tourism sector. There needs to be a holistic approach to developing religious tourism where all sectors of the tourism product meets international standards and they are done so in a sustainable manner. Ladies and gentlemen, Sky Bahamas is already paving the way for religious tourism and supporting tourism on the whole. We make it a reality. We make it a reality for Grand Bahama and other domestic destinations. My team and I provide air transport throughout the islands of the Bahamas from destinations from Nassau, such as Marsh Harbor, Freeport, Northern Utah, Cat Island, Exuma, San Salvador, as well as provide scheduled air transport to Fort Lauderdale from Nassau, Freeport, Marsh Harbor. We also provide on-demand services. Additionally, we are working to start scheduled services into Marsh Harbor from Grand Bahama and my chairman was supposed to be here because I'm trying to encourage him so we can spend money for bigger airplanes.
Yes.
It's a third request, but I don't see him here yet. So we'll remind him and tell him we need bigger airplanes.
Yes.
We've got 20 people coming. Right now we have a flight, we have a small fleet right now, 4 Saab 340A, 1 Saab 340B, 1 Beech 1900, and they are currently the best, we have the best team of 120 talented Bahamians employed at Sky Bahamas, delivering superior service to you every day. Over this past year, we have successfully flown over 333,000 passengers throughout the Bahamas and South Florida, bringing a lot of them to Grand Bahama. And I just want to say the Copa Airlines that come here, we don't hear about Sky Bahamas much about that now, but when they initially started that, Sky Bahamas adjusted its schedule to accommodate and there's people, they could say yes, oh, she was on the flight, that's right. And we roll out the red carpet to make sure the travel agents and everybody get to Freeport and get to love Grand Bahama and our services. But you know what happened when the deal was signed, right? Give it to Bahamas there. Sky Bahamas prides itself on partnering with local charities as the Missions Home in Cat Island, Hands for Hunger, the Great Commission Ministries, and inclusive of over 70 other different organizations. Amidst our success thus far, we at Sky Bahamas are not without challenges. In the airline business, high fuel costs and high taxes, lack of technical skills seem to be the order of the day. We can mitigate or minimize such challenges by partnering with the government and other tourism stakeholders. We realize that we cannot do it alone. In order for us, the tourism sector, and other stakeholders to win in making religious tourism a reality, we have to forge strategic partnerships. Our major challenge is the high cost of fuel. In the Bahamas, is almost double to anything else in the region. Facility charges are expensive. And they just give you a little bit about that. Right here in Freeport, for example, fuel is $2 and about 30 cents more than Nassau.
That's right.
They're about $3 more than Abaco. All right? And so when you fly an airplane that's going to take 176 gallons of fuel round trip from here to Freeport, we have to pay, so look at that, $700-800 just for fuel. On top of that, we used to pay 70 cents facility charge when you get on the airplane. That has gone from 70 cents in a mile, a note from the airport authority, which sometimes we call the mafia. And they just send you a note and say it'll be $350 starting.
That's right. Yep. Wow. Yep.
What do?
You got to pay it.
You have to pay it. There's security charges, there's departure taxes. The landing fees, it's $25 and $32 every time we land. The departure taxes, the security fees, and some of the fees are $11.50. So when you pay $149.99 going to Nassau, a lot of that is going to pay taxes. Right? And what we've decided at Sky Bahamas is if we can't deliver you a certain level of service, we'll get out of the business. We will not compromise. So we know the consideration as you build this particular sector is going to be cost. Cost is going to play, and people are going to want quality for dollar. And if you have the kind of cost at the airport where you tell folks come, and then when they reach to your door, you give them this bill, it's really going to be a problem. And today we're really struggling, the airlines of the Bahamas on the whole, not only Sky Bahamas. And we are fighting against subsidized Bahamas Air, which we start to accept. That's the reality of the day. That, you know, this government, I told the minister the other day, over the next 5 years, you have to find over $125 million to support Bahamas Air. Okay? Some of the other challenges, you have the foreign carriers are getting subsidies also from the government, right? So I'm competing against airlines like that fly the same type of airplanes like I do, but if you notice, they're getting a lot of play from the Ministry of Tourism. That's partisan, I know the feelings. They get a lot of, we go to Exuma and we help sustain that island, and you have a situation there again where the government gives them fuel subsidies. Say that whatever the extra fuel costs, they'll give them the money. You don't believe me? Read the Tribune, October 27, 2011. It's a presentation that was given by our Director of Tourism to the Exuma Business Outlook. And you don't believe me about the subsidiaries? Let's listen to former Minister of Finance, State Minister, Mr. Line. And subsidies in 2010 they gave to US Air coming to Freeport only. US Airways was $750,000. WestJet was $150,000. To Delta Airlines was $500,000. And they give the cruise airlines a lot of money too. The cruise coming in. They give the casinos $2,000. And they give them another $1,750,000. They gave $2 million Hutchison Lucaya rent, casino rent for Delta in 2012. And so far they're given for fuel cost premiums, they call it in Grand Bahamas. We have to pay the same fuel bills, but the government gave them $350,000 in what they call fuel cost premium. WestJet, they gave them $600,000, what they call cost marketing. And the cruise incentives they give. Visionaire, that came, I told them that was not going to work because you have to fix the destination first. Grand Bahama have to decide where they resort, whether they're going to do religious tourism and convention or whatever. But on the Visionaire, in the first year, they gave $4 million to that. And in the marketing support, they gave $1.7 million. So that's $5.7 million right there. How do we as Bahamians benefit from this? All right? So in order for this tourism, and this is going to grow, and I congratulate you, Pastor Victor, for putting this together. I think these are some of the things that we're going to have to consider. Is this going to be tourism where all Bahamians are going to benefit from this? Or this is something, again, that other people are going to benefit? And again, it comes with preparation and planning. And some of the questions I quickly ask, because as I try to think about this tourism, and I look and I see we're starting at this, is that to understand more of the goal, and we're going to start an education process to make sure that our people also respect, as you say, religious tourism, that there'll be people that don't believe like us, and some of the practices would not be like us. I know I've seen here at the Grand Lucaya, they have the Jews come on time. I know they have their kosher thing. What about the Muslim coming? What about the Seventh-day Adventists? They're here, and I mean the Baptists and everybody. Are we going to appreciate the difference? Do we bring them all at the same time?
No.
So who's going to be coordinating that? And there are some of the questions that we're going to ask. And remember now, once you bring them here, some of that influence is going to stay here.
Yes.
So be very careful with that. Make sure you're ready for that, and that's okay. That's not my area to speak in, but that discrimination and some of the things that are happening, and as we see around the world, some of that stuff that people practice and help is not good for us. All right? Thank you.